video, you're welcome to mute while I'm talking and just unmute when you have questions. It just helps with background noise. So this mini webinar is on BingoBaker. So we're going to actually play bingo, and then I'm going to take you to the website to take a look at it. So for the next half hour, we're just going to be talking about bingo things. So I dropped in the chat, and I'll do it again if you missed it, a link to a bingo board. This is one that was already pre-made. I didn't have to do any work on this one. So I'm just going to have you click on it. Then I'm going to call out different words, and all you're going to do is click on the word if you have it on your bingo card, and then the first person who gets bingo, say bingo, and then we're going to talk about what we were able to do. All right. If I had a way to give you prizes, I'd send you some prizes too. So if you ever see me at BOCES, I'll give you free stickers if you win. All right. So everyone have a bingo card and is ready to go?
Yep.
Okay. If you have questions, you may unmute, and you could also drop them in the chat. So, all right, I'm just going to generate my own card too. All right, so the first word is learn. You could already go ahead and click the free space in the center if you don't have that word. The next word is stayed home. The next word is contagious. I don't know about you, but my bingo card is empty still. Oh, good. All right. The next one is no sports. I finally got one. The next one is touched face in the last hour.
Did you make these?
This one I grabbed. I just changed a few words out to just, you know, just to make it a little simpler, but this one was already made. Okay. I thought that was funny. Oh, and I had that on my card too. All right, the next one is keeping kids busy. The next word is curbside pickup. The next word is craft projects. And the next, washing hands a lot. The next one is news. And then long lines. The next one is online Sunday service. The next is colored your own hair. I need to do that one.
Yeah, but I don't have it on my card.
And you don't have it, or you do have it?
No, I don't have it on my card.
Oh, I have it on mine, so I'll put it on mine. The next word is Netflix. All right, and the next one is virtual happy hour. The next is DIY projects.
There's one.
Finally got one, huh?
Yes.
The next is telehealth. The next word is hand sanitizer. The next
All right,
is
I got it.
You got it? Awesome.
Got it.
Good job. Who is that, Darcy?
Yep.
Good job. Congratulations. So come find me in BOCES when we're finally back there. And
I will find you.
Come find me and I will give you a sticker. All right. So that is how it looks from the student side. So you saw it was pretty easy. You're able to click it and kind of go there. For the person that joined a little bit late, don't worry about it. I'm going to take you to the site anyway. I was able to, I can show you how you saw the call card. So let me present and kind of show you what it looked like from my screen. And that way you can kind of see what I was doing there. So what I did is I downloaded the call card. So this is the call card that you see on your screen now. And then it just randomly chose all of the codes that were on there. And there were 54 different codes on that you could have gotten, or 54 different words you could do that. So I could have cut these out and thrown them in a bag. I just went through the list just to make it easy for myself. But you can certainly do it any way that you'd like as you're going through and playing bingo. Where that comes from is from a website called BingoBaker. So this was Let me go back here. BingoBaker. This was my card that I was doing. So you saw as I was going through, I was able to click. I was nowhere getting near winning, but like, let's say I got all of these, you can see that it just highlights the whole screen for me. But I'm going to go back to the actual place. So what I did to get that one is I went up to the find cards on BingoBaker and I just typed in COVID. And what it did was it showed me different ones that were there and I chose one. All right, I'm going to walk you through how that all works. So let's just chat about BingoBaker first. I don't have any slide deck for you today. I figured it was easier to just do the website than try to put things on a slide deck beforehand. So BingoBaker is free to use. You can pay for it if you'd like to save your cards, have some sort of repository of ones that you use every year. That it's a good way to kind of save it. You'd have to recreate them every year if you don't have the paid. The paid version is $15 for a lifetime membership, so it's not terribly expensive. And once you pay once, you never have to pay again. So really cool that way. No sign-in logins to worry about, so you don't have to worry about anything with EdLaw 2D. It generates the card for you. With the free version, you can print, but you're only allowed to print up to 8 cards. So if you're going to do this in the classroom someday and you wanted to be able to print them, you'd only be able to print 8 different cards. So actually playing digital is freer and cheaper, I guess if you want to look at it that way, unless you want to pay the $15 and have it saved for you. If I go into that part just to kind of show you what it looks like, the $15 lifetime membership gives you the dashboard. It gives you the full printing capabilities. It gives you some privacy controls, which you really don't have to worry about since you're not really logging in. Unlimited images that you can upload and a public list of all of your bingo cards. So you can actually like publish your site with that. But you don't have to log in to use the site. So I don't have a login. I've never paid for it. I just use the digital ones. I use it. It's gone. I create it again if I want it another time. So when you first go to BingoBaker.com, and I'm going to drop that in the chat for you too. You have access to the link. You want to kind of toggle between or just look at my screen, whatever you'd like to do. When you first come to BingoBaker, and this website's been around a really long time, which is one of those kind of like, how did I never know it was there? But it's a great one. And you can see at the top, it gives you an idea, a place where you can find already made ones, or you can create your own. So you can type in any keyword. Let's say you're doing, sight words or something like that. You can click find cards, and then you're going to find different cards. So here's different ones. They show you how many words are in each one, what the size of the card is. So this is a 5x5 with 114 words, no images, and it was created just this week. And you can see all the different ones that are there. If you decide you like one of these, you just click on it. And then it tells you can print up to those 8 pages, and you can print up to 4 cards per page. So you can get a little more that way. You can keep the bingo title on or off. You can include the call list. That's going to give you that printable call list for you. But if you're doing it online, what you're going to do is give your students this URL. So all I did was highlight it, copy and paste it into the Google Meet chat box, so you were able to play along with me. So here you could put this code onto Google Classroom. You can send it through email, whatever you use to get links to your students, you can certainly do that there. They give you a how-to. So if I click on that, it's going to walk me through the steps on how to play. So if you ever get stuck and you're not sure, you can always click on that and it'll walk you through the process. It gives you the call list. So when I click on the call list, I have it here. So I actually click the print and put it as a PDF to save it, but you don't have to. I could have had it as a separate link, but I was afraid I might close the link by accident. So here is your list of words that are in here. You can cut these out and throw them in a bag if you want to do that kind of thing, or you could just go through and call them. You could even put these into, if you were on the Flippity one, you could drop all these into a Flippity random name generator, and it'll randomly pick one. So you can have that on the screen for the students to do that. I can show you how to do that if that's something of interest. So you get that call list. You can also, if you like this one, but you want to take some things out, you can clone it, and then it becomes fully editable for you. All right, it tells you the probability, so it gives you a little math information. It says with 30 players, you'll have to call about 29 items before someone gets bingo. So this is a big one. There are ones that are much smaller that you can shorten that randomization, because I'm thinking with kids, 29 items, you're going to lose some interest before kids actually win. So, but there's a third of a chance of kids winning, after only calling 8 items. So, it could be quick still. So if you want your game to last longer, you add more words. If you want your games to be shorter, you put less words in. Okay, so that's using the already made ones that are at the top here. And you can see if I click on find cards, just when I'm going through, they have ones that have words, but there are ones that have images too. And I want to see if I can grab one of those. Let me hit the back button. Let me just click on the one here. Here's a sight words with pictures. You can do it either way. Whatever way you want, you have options to do that. Just know that you're limited on how many uploads you can put into your cards. So at some point you'll run out. But because you're not logging in, every time you do it, it refreshes to allow you to start over. It's just that you only get a limited amount to put in. I think you can fill a card, but beyond that, I don't think you can fill many more words beyond that with the free. I've never run out, but I don't tend to do ones with images as much as I do words. So that is the find and customize. So let's talk about how you can create your own. As I scroll down on the page, I get my dashboard to create. I can title my bingo. So I'm going to call this one Google Meet, let's say, because that's what we're doing right now. You can change the word bingo to be any word you want. So I can do MEETS, meets, right? And then that could be your lines there. I can change the board from a 5x5 to a 4x4 or a 3x3. So if you're starting with just a tic-tac-toe kind of thing, you could do a 3x3 up to a 5x5 to be a full card. All right, so I'm actually gonna leave it at 5x5 so I can play around with these. If you get lost, all the directions are on the right-hand side for you on how to do all the different things that you want to do on your card. All right, so it tells you how to drag and drop images, fixing words. You can print cards or at 10 cards or 1,000 with 1, 2, 3, or 4 per page. You can customize the size, add your own images, choose whether or not you want a free space. Some people just put an image in the middle, and then you can choose whether or not you're going to play it online, which right now I think we all are. And then it will calculate for you the probability. So these are all your features that you have. So as we're going through here, you saw that I customized the title and I changed bingo to be meet. If I click in any of these boxes, see how I get a little sidebar that comes up on the left? In here is where I'm going to build how I want to do my card. So if I click the top one, it's an image. So it's going to say bring in an image. So I'm just going to grab this picture I took of my daughter yesterday, just so I have an image in there. I can do something like that. So you can put your students' faces in, their Bitmojis, a sight word, whatever it happens to be, into the square. It has to be saved onto your computer for you to grab it. It's not like you can grab right from Google Drive. It doesn't link to it. So again, if I click the picture, I can go through and grab any picture I want. So maybe I want to do, favorite apps bingo or something like that. And I'll put the 3D bear logo in there. So whatever you want it to be. I'm going to click in a different box to kind of show you. So if I click these 3 boxes, you'll see that it kind of shows you that the T is kind of at the top, in the center, and the bottom of the box. So if I do the top and I write 3D, it's going to go to the top of the page. If I click the center one and I type in 3D, it's going to go to the center. And then the same with the last one. If I click the bottom and I write 3D, it's going to go to the bottom of the box. So you choose your alignment of where they're going to go. So I'm going to put in the center, maybe I'm going to write augmented reality. Okay. I can also add a color to the box by just clicking on what color I want. And what that really is doing is changing the fill color, but you have to change it down here for it to matter. So let me show you what I mean. So let's say I like this little green. I'm going to click that I want the text to be that green. All right. And then when I type in here and I write virtual reality, oh, it didn't save it. I want the green, click OK. Now it's there. So you'll see how it changed over to the different colors. So even though the paint here, I haven't figured out how to change it. There we go. Now it will do it. Okay. So once you've kind of played around with it, you can see I added a color into here. So then I can then change the text back to black if I want. and then type in here and write virtual reality. Let me walk through that again because that was kind of confusing. So here, when I'm in the box and I click the little paint can, I can change the color. So you have to actually like click on it in the center here. So you can't just click up at the top for the change of color. You have to click it somewhere in the center so this box fills with the color, and then you hit OK. And then it'll change the color of your box. For your words at the bottom, you can change your text by switching around at the bottom here. Same with the background. You can make the whole background a color if you wanted to do something like that. To kind of change that up a little bit, you can do that at the bottom, and you can even change the color of the grid lines to be anything that you'd like it to be. So maybe I wanted that to be like a purple, and you can see it changes the grid lines. So you go through and you fill in your whole card. All right, so let me just change the text over to black here. I lost black in there. There we go. I'm going to take out the fill color just so it's easier for you to see it all. And I'm going to take out that image. Okay. So let's say I put in, I'm just going to put like letters in each one just because I want to just do it quickly here. So once I have this card done, and I'm just kind of randomly thinking of words as I'm talking. That's hard to do, by the way, to talk and type at the same time. I said, how about that? My favorite animal. You know, we'll throw in other animals. Maybe we'll do that. We'll change this over to animals. I don't know how to spell peacock. That's too hard. Rhino. All right. Fish. Lemur. How do you spell lemur? That's close enough. I'm actually a good speller, but not when I know I'm being videotaped. Then I'm like, I don't remember. Words. Now that I'm thinking that one again. Rock. Run. I mean, this is a very random one. Random. Card. Bingo. Although I don't know that you'd want to put bingo in there. Bear.
Yeah.
Buffalo. That would be confusing, wouldn't it? Robot and code. All right, so this is a very random card. Okay, so I have this card done, and then I can add more words down here. But let's say I just want everyone to have the same words. Okay, so right here, I've got all these words in here. I have not added any extra words. At the bottom, I can choose whether I want this to be a public card. So it just saves it on BingoBaker as something that people can use. I can have it be hidden, which is not available for a free user, or I can keep it private, which is also not. So I always do it as public because I don't really care. You know, no one's going to use this card. They're going to look at it going, this is ridiculous. Why would I use that? And then you can paste in a list of words. So if you had a list that you use all the time, if you click paste in the words, you can paste them all in, copy them out of a Google Doc, paste them in, make it a lot easier for you to create these cards. And once you do that, you click generate and it creates your card. So again, on the right-hand side, all of the information you need is available to you. So you can print your pages. You can show that bingo title on all the cards. You can include that call list to be able to be printed or downloaded. You can also grab this link, which again will bring you to generate a card. So it just created my unique card based on what I had. Let me hit back. Oh, I hate when I do that because when you do that, it loses it. So let me go back. Oh, man. I want to go back. It doesn't want to let. There we go. Okay. So you have this URL that you can save. So what I usually do is copy and paste it. So that way I don't have to click it to get confused like I did there. You'll always get your call list, which will open in a new tab for you of all the words that I have on there. And then you also can edit the bingo if you decide, I want to add more. I can make a copy of it and do different things. It tells me that I'll need to call about 8 items before a student gets bingo based on the 30 players. But you can say, you know what, I only have 10 on the call. What's my percentage? I have to call about 9 items, 67% chance I'm going to win. That'll kind of tell you how long the game is going to take. All right. It also has this great feature at the bottom that says, here's other ones that are like that. So maybe you're like, oh, I like this card, but I want something similar. You can grab one of the ones that are down there, take a look at it, see if it's something that you're interested in, and you can do whatever you'd like with it. You can download it if you want to keep it as a printable, and then you can save it and do whatever you'd like with it. Just know that with the free, like I said, you only get the 8 cards. So if I go to 4 and I click print, just to show you, yeah, it's going to tell me I can't. I have to do the 1. And I hit print, it'll show me that I get just these 8 cards. All right, but each of these cards is free. You can lock that free into the center as well. Let me show you how to do that. So if I go back and edit, I'm gonna put free back in. All right, so make sure this is checked that the center square is a free, all right? And you can also change it to where you shuffle items only within the column. That way it's going to keep the same words in there, and then you can regenerate to save it, and it'll lock that free in there for you. So as long as it's checked, the free stays in there as your center button. Any questions so far on bingo? Pretty easy, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think it's a pretty great one. So, all right. So now I showed you how to create. I showed you the different ways you can create. I'm just going to go back home. And like I said, you can change the shape to be anything you want. So if you do a 3x3, you can make it a little smaller for your students. Make sure that you have this center square on if you want that to be a free. Add in your extra words. You can change the line thickness. So if your students need that extra visual part of it, you can call this anything you want. So maybe this one's about cats. You can do that kind of thing, and you can put in whatever there. You, again, can change the text and the grid line colors to be anything you want it to be, and it will create those for you, which is really kind of nice. As you're going through and you check in the box, I showed you how to do that. You can change the way the shape of the words look as well. So if I type in here and I click the A, you can see that it does the dark on the outside and then the grid line color on the, or the dark on the inside and then the grid line color on the inside. So you can make it a little more creative. You can put in a picture behind it too. So if I do that, it's working. There it goes. So it will put the word and the picture, so you can have both. So the picture, remember how I showed you can change where the words go? So I can move that to the bottom. The picture, you don't really get a lot of editing. You know, it's not like you can move it so it's full shift up. So you might want to pick an image that, you know, is a little more visual, you know, a little bit easier for your students to see the difference, or maybe change the color of this to be a different color. So maybe I want to make it white to make it a little easier to read. And then maybe I want to center it. So you can do those kind of things to help with the color contrast there as well. You don't have to title your bingo. I think it's easier if you do. I'm on animals today, so we'll call it that. And then, like I said, you can paste in your own words. So if you have a list from somewhere else, you can do that. But what's really great is that they already have so many different cards for you. So we've got Memorial Day coming up. You can click there, find some Memorial Day cards that are already made. You know, Mother's Day is coming up. You can do that one. All right, so we've got some mommy cards. That's pretty cute, right? National events. Those are all national events. Senior spring fling, different things. You know, anything you're looking for. And all of these are fully editable. You can also just find cards that just have images and hit search. And then you're going to see ones that have pictures on there. So when you're actually using these cards, some things that I've seen that have been really good. One workshop I was on where they were using the bingo one, it had nothing to do with the topic they were on, but what it was is words that they say often during their presentation. So let's say I was doing a workshop on Nearpod. I might have Nearpod, I might have Drawed, I might have Collaborate, all the words that go along with Nearpod. And as I say them, they fill the card. So it keeps them focused on your lesson, but they have the card up as a separate tab to be able to tab back over to it. Some kids find that overwhelming, so you really have to see what your kids are, you know, capable of doing as you're going through, especially if they're just listening to you. Like if you're doing it as a book, you're reading a book and you have that they only have the bingo card up and they're listening for those keywords that you're reading, then they could just have the one screen up. That's a little bit easier than maybe a split screen for some of your kids. which is a great way to kind of do it there. So lots of uses for BingoBaker. Any final thoughts, questions? I'm going to see in here. The highlighted of called words is automatic for cards attached to the link you send to students. So yeah, you can, it creates it automatically. You can choose whether or not you want to download it and print it. Yep. Yep. So the call list again, just when I'm in here, let's just say I grab this one. Your call list is always going to be on the right-hand side. It says, here's your call list you can use to conduct your game. When you click on it, it's going to give you your call list for you in there. Any other questions?
Yeah, I'm sorry. My question was really poorly phrased, so you didn't answer it.
Oh,
basically,
sorry.
so yeah, no, it's not. Yeah, it was really. As you read it, I was like, yeah, that makes no sense. So what I mean is, so let's just say we're doing the electronic version and we send the link out. What I'm asking is, like, I want to know when, and obviously you played this in the beginning in the first 5 minutes and I missed it. When you click on the link, when the student clicks on the link, it opens up the card, and you're saying every time a different student clicks on the link, it's going to produce a different bingo card?
Yeah, so I just grabbed the link and I put it in, and what it does is it comes up with a pop-up that says, click the button below to generate your unique bingo card. As soon as they click generate, it generates the card for them.
Okay, great. That was the first. I got it. Perfect.
Yeah.
The other part of it is, so those cards that they will generate then, and they're in front of them on their Chromebook, when they click on each, when they do the clicking, when they hear their word or picture, whatever called out, it will highlight it.
Yep,
and then and then when they get a horizontal, vertical, or diagonal bingo, does it like do something special when they actually get bingo or not?
No, they'll have to call that out.
Okay, so it's just them realizing, oh, I had bingo and calling it out.
Yeah.
And then with the call list, you just said instead of printing, and I'm talking about the free version, you can just right click and then save it as a PDF.
Yeah. So what I do is where I have this call list, I can click on it and then I print it as a PDF. So that way I don't lose it. You know what I mean? Because I might close a tab. So I click print. And then for the destination, I pick PDF.
Right. Okay. Yep. Familiar with that. And then I guess the last question I had, and I don't know if you planned on going over it or not, because I think this would make it more interesting for them, is you were going to discuss the random word chooser or something.
Yeah. Yep. So we're coming up on that end at 11:30. So if anyone has to leave, I'm not going to be insulted. You go ahead and you can head out. But let me show the Flippity part for those that want to stay on. So Flippity is also free. And what Flippity has is a random name picker. So let me show you the demo. So the demo comes up as a wheel. But if you were doing this as bingo, what you can do is the lineup, which comes up at the top here. And so it'll show the order that you call your words. So all you'd have to do is hit the down button and it'll go to the next word on your list. In order to create these, if I go back into Flippity, they give you the instructions here, but basically you're going to get a template. It forces you to make a copy of the template. Once it finishes loading here, you would put your words in here, just type them all in. Once you have your words list, however long word list you want, you click where it says get link here. You have to go up to file, publish to the web, and if you forget, it reminds you. As soon as you publish it to the web, it creates a link for you. So you click on this link, and then it goes right back into that spinner, but you can shift it back to that lineup. So you can use this as your call if you'd like to do it that way as well. So totally up to you if you want to just use the PDF, make it simple, or if you want to put this up to the students, you can do something like that. You probably want to make your screen big so they don't see what the next word is going to be. So as you go through, only one word comes up. That's the only thing I would do there. Any questions?
Thank you.
Sure. Can they have one where the call list is different than what is on the board? For example, 9x8, but call, yeah. So each of the, you can have your list be the one you want. So this one only has 24, but I could have 50 terms on here, and it's going to randomly give me the 50 terms, but each of their cards may or may not have those words on there, if that's what you mean, Beth.
Well, you actually answered my question using the flippity, because what I was just thinking, third grade, we use it a lot for multiplication facts. So I would call 9 times 8, but they would mark the product on their board. And the way to do that would be to use flippity as the generator of the fact, but the bingo board as the product.
Oh, perfect. Yeah, you can certainly do that. Yeah, so you can create your questions there. I like that. That's a great idea.
I would love to use this in my Google Meet.
If you're, I couldn't hear you. Can you say that again?
I'd love to use this on my Google Meet because we do Fun Fridays and we do a half-hour game. So I think of, if I put that link in, when they click on it, will it open a separate window? Most of them are Chromebooks.
Right.
Would they have to shrink the size of the screen so they can see both of them? Because they'll probably open a new tab.
They would open a new tab. Yeah. They can certainly click and drag tabs out if they know how to do that, or if you can walk them through that process. And that might make it easier for them to be able to see the bingo board and see you, since you want to have both. To do that, you minimize your screen a little bit and then hover around the edge and slide in. And then they would grab their bingo board and drag it out. So a lot of steps, but if they know how to do it and they practice doing it, they'll get pretty good at it, and they're able to do that kind of thing.
I think I might make a little how-to video first, and then, but I think the kids would really love playing bingo on Fun Friday.
Absolutely. Yeah. Who doesn't love bingo? I mean, I play it as an adult and I still love it. So.
Excuse me. I just had a quick question. So there's no way for the students to actually see what you've called, like to check themselves, or like if you go out of order and you skip around, how would you know, to keep track of what you called? So you'd have to actually call them in order then. Yeah,
so you could give them a list, like when you're on, I unshared, let me go back into present. You could give them a copy of the call list by printing it out and giving them one, and they can see the order in which you're going to give them. But I don't know that that's a great idea, because then they'll just, they'll see which ones. You know what I mean? It kind of takes away the fun of bingo, and just see what one's going to be called next.
And there's no way to check their board, so you're going on what they tell you and they read it back to you.
Yeah, they can read it back to you, or you could have them present their screen and show you their board.
Okay, yep. Thank you so much.
Sure. Any other questions? All right. Have a great Friday. I know it's not a great weekend, but I hope you have a great one anyway. And we'll hopefully see you next week.
Thank you, Lori.
Absolutely.